Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, I never saw it make an appearance.
And you would have
This
thought you would have.
I think it was all for naught.
this story started off with a memorial service.
Welcome to Cue the Mic. I'm Darren Orth.
And I'm the magnificent, that's a word.
It's
Randy
not how
Twyford.
you say it, but that's okay.
Well, yeah.
No.
Randy Twyford.
Okay. And I'm
I'm here.
Emma Durflinger, and this is episode 123. I think.
Emma's fresh off a nap,
I am.
10 minutes late.
Yeah. I slept through my alarm.
We pushed
No.
back. We tried to push up production time today, and Emma's like, I can't. I have to hold
No.
the time.
I
And
just
we
said.
found out we had to hold the time because she had to take a nap.
Okay. So, you guys said 2. I was awake, and I was like, you know what? I was asleep when you sent that text. That's why I responded 20 minutes later. And I was going to stay up because I was like, I need more time than 15 minutes. And then I fell back asleep. But it's fine. But I said I need to keep 2:30 because I'm trying to keep boundaries. We agreed on a time, and I just needed a minute.
No, we said 3 o'clock to start off with.
Between 3 and 4.
No.
Yeah.
But then we changed it to 2:30 yesterday.
No.
Yes. Do you want me to read this text out loud?
Yeah.
Okay. You said, heading home tonight, do we want to record in the morning? And I said, for next week. And you said, yes, since I'm gone next weekend and leaving Wednesday a.m. and busy Monday, Tuesday. Randy says, I don't think so. I have to pull pork early and I have a catering at noon. And you said mid-afternoon, ? And I said, I can do early, or mid-afternoon. Randy said 2 to 3-ish. Darren said thumbs up. And I said, I can do that. And you said, let's plan on 2:30. So.
Whoa.
Seems like that nap didn't take the edge off. So.
Jeez. Wait till Gary sees this.
It was scary.
Well, Gary from Ugly Baby Barbecue, he came up to me today and he goes, or yesterday at the barbecue contest, and he says, you know that damn Emma?
What?
She's a damn sailor.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, I think she cusses more than you two.
Probably.
That's
debatable.
Somebody else said something also about your language.
Was it my mom?
On the podcast. Your mom.
Yeah. She hasn't said anything to me about it. But actually, that's not true. She has
listeners because of your foul language.
They get offended or something.
Okay. If we lose listeners because of my foul language, then they shouldn't have been listening to the podcast to begin with.
From us.
Yeah, I just say some bad words. You guys make inappropriate jokes and say gross things.
Oh,
so it's different.
This is a great segue.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
You want to talk about inappropriate.
I don't know. Do we?
We might as well start off with inappropriate.
Start it off with it.
Start off. So we had on up last... what day was it? Thursday morning. We went up to Wisconsin. We're going to Oshkosh. Cook barbecue. Okay. And it's in place of going up to Washington Island. Our good friend Dick Jepson passed away, so they canceled the barbecue contest this year at Washington Island. So they pushed the Oshkosh, Wisconsin contest back a couple weeks. And just a great contest. And so they pushed it back, and so we did a kind of an honorary barbecue contest, and we had a memorial service. We probably, I don't know, we must have had 75 or 100 people, where on
Wow.
Friday night we had, we wanted to do, what do you call them? Chinese lanterns, where you light lanterns.
Floating
and
lights.
And let them go away.
Floating lanterns or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they posted they were going to do that on Facebook, and the fucking DNR got a hold of it. And
Oh, really?
said, no. Even though they've had 15,000 inches of rain, they thought that was going to be dangerous to the environment.
Huh.
So had to switch to helium balloons, which was fine. It was a great memory. So they had Dick passed away, and then his wife passed away like a few months after. Well, they had Dick's daughters came down from northern Wisconsin. And anyway, we had a group of people, and we all, we said some things, and then we released these balloons. And of course, we released 100 helium balloons right towards the lake, Winnebago, which I'm sure they all went down the Winnebago, and I'm sure every fish is going to gag on a balloon. But we can't get those lanterns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would dissolve.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just crazy. But anyway, so it was just a great experience. I got a photo I'll post out there that it was just it was a crazy good. Dick was just a great guy, loved by all, but up in Death's Door. But anyway, so we went up early on Thursday because it's just, when it's a fun contest. And one of the places that my wife wanted to go, she's like, we have to go to Pete's Garage Bar. And it's just a local dive bar where you can just get a burger, and the kind of place, it's like almost like a small version of Dick's Last Resort.
Okay.
And so there's 2 or 3 owners of this place, and one of the owners is there tending bar at all times. Okay, the whole time they're open, and they're open from morning till 2 o'clock in the morning, till 2 o'clock in the morning. Just they're there all the time. And big sign above the grill. If this fucking sign's on, we're fucking. If this sign's on, we're fucking cooking still. Just fun. And they got all these rules that if you want something, we ain't got no waitresses. Come to the bar and order it yourself. And when your food gets ready, they'll yell out to you, "Hey, dumbasses, come get your food. It's getting cold."
Okay.
It's just a fun experience. So anyway, we've been in there a couple times, and so we had to go over, and we took the boys from Shigan. Well, anyway, we got dropped off there, and so then we decided to catch an Uber, and it was, I don't know, it must have been about 11 o'clock at night, and I've been drinking a lot of Diet Cokes, so I'm wide awake. They've all been imbibing in triple whiskeys and vodkas
Oh,
and
boy.
everything, so.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah. They all decide the Uber guy was quite interesting. A 57-year-old retired financial planner picks us up in this Toyota hybrid car. And we start talking financial stuff. And he thinks, he's giving us all this outlook and about thinking that, the market's going to crash and we should be shorting everything. And we're like, what are you doing being an Uber driver? We're taking financial advice from you. What are you doing driving an Uber?
Right.
Right? Because if you need money, then what do you need money for if you're a big financial guy?
Right.
He's like, no, I just like to hang out with people and meet people and just like to, he goes, I've made all my money. I just do this for enjoyment.
I'll be damned.
I just like to meet people and talk to people. And he said, there's no better way to do that than Uber.
Well,
okay.
Give him that.
Yep. So we headed back to the contest site, and along the contest site, my acquaintances that I with decided that they wanted to go to the adult bookstore.
Oh, boy. That's got trouble wrote all over it.
And they wanted to go purchase a blow-up doll for one of our fellow competitors.
Oh boy.
Okay, well, not really one to frequent one of those places, but in a group setting, why not?
What the hell?
So he's getting ready to drop us off, and we're like, hey, will you take us to the adult bookstore and wait for us? And we're like, hey, why don't you just end this Uber ride and we'll just pay you in cash? He's like, okay. So he ends the Uber ride, and I pay him for the Uber ride, and he takes us just a mile down the road to the adult bookstore, and we all go in the adult bookstore, and here's this gal in there. She's green hair, and she's 100% business.
Oh really?
And so
No jackassing around.
There's a lot of jackassing around going on.
But she's not wanting it.
No. She doesn't even care about it.
Oh, okay.
So I won't name Jeff's name out loud, but he starts asking every question in the book about every package that's there.
Right.
And she just answers it so professionally. Well, what do you do with this? I mean,
you do this with that.
Every vibrator to every anal bead to every butt plug to everything in the store. She is just like.
What was her explanation on that butt plug deal?
Huh?
What was her explanation on that butt plug deal?
You don't. No.
Well, I mean, she's like, well, you got to put lubrication on there, and you put that up there, and it helps with an orgasm.
And you guys are worried that my swearing's going to lose listeners.
Huh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And so in the meantime, the Uber driver then gets into real life examples.
Right. Oh, boy.
And has us in stitches. And oh my God, we're dying. And then to top it off, a stripper walks in the door.
Oh, boy.
And starts window shopping.
Uniforms.
Vibrator.
Oh, okay.
We don't have to talk about this. Why are we talking about this?
What was her
This story
selection?
started off with a
desire?
Until Jeff goes, well, why don't you just pick why don't you just pick out something nice? We'll buy it.
Oh boy. Now how'd you know she was a stripper?
Randy.
She might have been just scantily clad for the hell of it.
Her name was Lola.
Okay, she's a stripper. At the Copacabana.
Let's just say.
So, did you guys buy her something?
I didn't, but somebody else might have. But let's just say 2 blow-up dolls and $273 later.
Oh,
finally
boy.
getting the road out of there.
Now, who blew up the blow-up doll?
I don't even think they ever got blown up. We asked
because that's something I've never had any.
We asked for the gal to blow it up for us, and she's like, "Well, no, I'm not going to do that." Well, you got an air compressor here.
Well, yeah. And where is the thing you blow in the air at?
Randy, she was so professional. He's like, "Well, what happens if you kind of get this dirty?" And she goes, "Oh, just wash that with soap and water."
Warm soapy water.
She was just all business. I can't believe how professional she was without cracking.
Well, if you're going to be in that line of work, you probably need to be.
Oh man, I mean, if I was her, I was like, just get the fuck
out of here, you bunch of Yankees.
But she wasn't.
She was probably thinking that, but then but she didn't want to have a conversation with you guys. Like,
no, she was very engaged. She was very engaged. I mean, she was like educational just every time
You guys are probably the first customers of the day, too.
Oh no, oh
Oh.
no. I was talking to the guy that owns the wedding venue, and we were telling him this same story, and he goes, "You would not believe." He goes, "I drive by that thing every day," and he said, "There's 4, 5, 6 cars
Oh, but
every
damn.
day, all day long."
Huh.
We closed her down. Never closed down an adult bookstore before, but by God, we did it.
Well, there's one for the books.
Yep,
You know.
that was a highlight of the barbecue weekend.
This
So did
story's
they? So did
Huh?
they like? Did somebody blow up doll, or did they just leave her deflated?
They
No,
just said-
I think, matter of fact, I think they were so toasted. I think they forgot about it.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, I never saw it I never saw it make an appearance.
And you
This-
would have thought you would have.
I think it was all for naught.
this story started off with a memorial service.
Yeah, it did. Dick would have laughed too. He would have.
Oh,
So did somebody buy any marital aids for the stripper, or did she
Oh yeah.
not? She was able to pick out what she wanted.
Yeah.
Randy, did you listen to the story? They spent almost $300.
Not
But
they.
nobody said whether it was on the stripper or not.
If you listen to how the story was worded, it was implied.
It was implied.
It was.
I
implied.
unfortunately
Okay.
was listening to this story.
Okay. I guess it bypassed me.
Right.
So you were at a barbecue contest in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I presume.
Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Now we were talking off air, having an off air conversation, waiting on our production assistant. And
To wake up from her nap.
Assistant. I
Our
am
produ-
production.
production person.
Sorry.
And I found a conversation we were having. It wasn't about strippers or anything, because I'm always curious about that. But you said that you cooked a rib contest, a sanctioned rib contest. Can you enlighten us on that? I thought that
Yeah,
was very
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, so we went to Wisconsin to cook a regular KCBS contest, the
Right.
chicken ribs, pork, and brisket. Same thing we
Right.
cook every weekend. And when we got there, they were having a rib cook-off association.
Now, is this
Now-
something fairly new, or
I think the Rib Cook-Off Association, I don't know. Dirk and Jody Mullins started this at least a couple years ago.
okay?
I don't want to compare it to the steak, but it somewhat looks like the Steak Cook-Off
Okay,
Association.
okay,
In just the way it's kind of run. It's kind of a marriage between cooking ribs, and it's kind of a same day event. So it's, instead of being, barbecue contests are expensive. By the
Right.
time you buy all your proteins, I mean, we're going to drop $1,000 a weekend easily.
right,
And this is a way for people to compete without dropping huge. Like the entry fee for each rib contest is $125.
okay. And what is a KCBS contest this nowadays?
Probably on average, probably $250 to $300
Okay, okay,
for a 4-meat category. But
Sure.
you're also buying a $250 $300 brisket, and
Sure.
you're buying $300 worth of pork, and
Sure.
$400. I mean, it's just pretty damn expensive.
sure.
So anyway, this Rib Cook-Off Association is a way for people to come in and enjoy competitive barbecue at a much lower cost.
Right.
And unlike KCBS, where, garnish, you're putting garnish and the judges are certified, this is, you're just putting ribs in a box. They're pulling people off the street. And
So
they're judging.
if you're just putting ribs in a box, what about the appearance score? Where does that come from?
So the appearance, from what I understand, they don't judge anything until they take it out of the box and put it on the plate. And once it's put
Interesting.
on the plate,
Uh huh.
then they judge it for appearance and the taste and tenderness.
And 6 at a table, just like everything else.
Well, I don't know how many judges are at a table. I didn't get into all the details. It's just you got to put. All I knew is, here, Darren, here's a box. Put 6 ribs in this box.
Sure.
So they kind of talked me into this really the only reason I did it, because somebody had brought me money from a past contest I had scored at, and I'm famous for leaving before awards. So they handed me an envelope and it had $250 in it from some contest I had won. Don't even remember what it was.
Love that.
And so they handed me this $250, and I'm like, okay, there's a rib A and a rib B. That's $250. Hey, sure, you want to do this rib A, B? Or are we cooking ribs? Okay, let's do it. So we did that. We then joined the Rib Cook-Off Association, because if you happen to win the Rib Cook-Off, then you qualify for the World Championship of Rib Cook-Offs next year in April.
Okay.
And we're like, okay, well, never know. Might get lucky. So let's join the association. So, and while we're cooking, we're just going to cook our KCBS ribs. We're going to turn in our ribs, and the times for this one were set up where we could just turn in our KCBS ribs, then we could turn in the ribs for the next contest right away. You have a half-hour window. And then we were just going to hold some ribs, and then after we turned in our brisket, we were going to turn in some more ribs for the second phase.
Okay.
Which we ended up doing. So, we went through and we turned in our chicken and we turned in our ribs, and then you could have turned in the boxes at the same time, but we were a little behind on the rib box. So we went through, I cut up all 4 racks of ribs. Sherry said all the ribs, like normally. She goes, yeah, they all taste the same. I think she probably has my taste buds, which I don't have any.
Right.
She said they all were about the same. Use whatever I wanted, so I picked out the pretty ones. We put 6 bones in the KCBS box, and off she goes.
There she goes.
And then I took 2 bones from the other 3 racks I had cooked, put some sauce on them, and put them in another box. When she got back, I said, here, take the rib cook-off box, so there's no garnish in that box, just a piece of foil in the bottom. And she takes that off to the rib cook-off judges.
Question.
Yes.
So you took, in a KCBS box, you try to get everybody to match, all the ribs to match and stuff, and try to get them as many as you can off the same rack.
Or 2 racks of stacking them, because they're... you're judging appearance in the box, how the box actually looks.
As of on this, you really don't give a shit.
Yeah, you could throw them in the box. Who cares?
And you just, so you just kind of took all of them across the board, and 2 from each rack, and got your 6.
Yeah, I just randomly took 2 from each rack.
Interesting.
So I took 2 from each rack, and then I took 3 more bones from each rack, and I wrapped it in foil and threw it back in the Cambro, and I said, I'll just deal with those later after brisket. And that was going to be my rib bead turn-in. Some people that were taking this seriously, which I was not, were staging ribs and cooking ribs like they were cooking a second contest, right?
Right.
So they were staging it to come off, and I didn't have that capacity. I wasn't that interested, and I only had 4 racks of ribs. Now, they had provided ribs to us.
Oh, did they really?
In this contest, they had provided ribs to us. They got a sponsor. They provided ribs because they could give you 8 racks of ribs.
Wow.
And they wanted you to cook them all, because then they were having a charity thing afterwards. Well.
Oh, okay.
The ribs were nice ribs. They just weren't very big ribs. So I was cooking a big 3.5 pound rib. The ribs they gave us were like a 2.5 pound rib. So they weren't
Question.
Very big. Yes.
Do they have to be, generally in, what type of rib do they have for these steak or rib cook-offs?
Well, you can kind of do anything, but the traditional format of the Rib Cook-Off Association is you have a category that you have a 3 contest in one day, from what I understand.
Okay.
you have a baby back contest, you have a
Okay.
St. Louis contest, and you have a
Okay.
wing contest.
Okay. So, but they did baby backs or St. Louis for all of it.
They did just a double St. Louis contest.
See, that would be nice because then you could just cook your same ribs and everything and use the
And
same
that's why
rib.
they did. That's why they did it, just so you could cook the same ribs and whatever. And
But otherwise,
so,
you got to break it up
but like when we go to the World Championship, I'm assuming we're going to have to cook a baby back, a St. Louis, and a wing.
and a wing. Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, so we went through our regular KCBS, contest, and so I switched back this week. I'd been cooking legs, and the legs I've been getting more smaller, and I've been playing around with wings and just getting ready for the jack, and just hadn't been scoring. And I said, I'm gonna try and cook thighs. So I went back to cooking thighs, but I hadn't cooked thighs on the can. So I got my coach Brad from Getting Basted was right behind me, and I'm like, "Hey Brad,
Hey, Barry.
got to help me cooking." He's the one that helped me cook ribs on the can. I'm like, "Hey, you got to help me cook thighs on the can." He goes, "Just run your same timeline as you run. Do the same thing you do with legs." Okay, fine. So anyway, went through, cooked my thighs. They were really good. But then I'm like, at the last minute, I'm like, I'm going to pick up some wings because even though I'm probably not going to turn them in because my thighs were really big. I didn't think they would fit in the box. I'm just going to go ahead and keep cooking them just so I'm in practice with the timeline. So when I get to the
Sure.
jack, it's just second nature. So I went ahead and cooked the wings. And when the wings came off, they were really good too. And the boxes they gave us were really big. And I'm
Okay.
like, there's room for these damn wings in here. So I'm like, we threw the wings in.
So you
Now,
did
right,
thighs
wrong.
and wings.
So I did thighs and wings. And there was room. There was room. So we fit them in there. We were happy with them. We ended up getting 6th in chicken. So
Okay, that's respectable.
um,
How many teams were at the contest?
29, I think.
29. Okay.
Then we got to ribs. Thought we had good ribs. 19th in ribs. They did
Okay.
not like the ribs.
No, they did not.
Pork, I thought I nailed the pork. I thought the pork was the best thing I turned in all day,
Okay.
by far. I mean, I was
Okay.
expecting easily top 5 pork, 13th place pork.
Ouch.
Yeah, shit happens. You shake
Yeah.
it off. But I mean, I thought I had really great pork.
Right.
I'd still turn that pork in every single day.
Sure.
Super happy. And brisket, like normal with brisket, we win our table, hit 6th place in brisket.
Okay.
And I've been winning my brisket table every single contest and finishing 6th through 9th. I just got to keep winning that table, and one of these days I'll get a 1st or 2nd, 3rd, whatever. But I just keep
Right.
winning the table and getting 6th through 9th. And we continue to put burn ends in there. I think I'm going to just maybe leave those out.
Just go
Wondering if that's
stay
maybe
sliced.
causing them. Yeah.
Stay sliced.
Yep, especially this weekend. But anyway, that the rib just killed us. Took us back to 10th overall
Right.
this weekend. I had Brad from Getting Basted who threw up his 11th win of the season. He was right behind us, virtually cooking out of there. And then we had Shiggin and Grin, and they took reserve. They were right next to us. And all day Saturday, I did nothing but listen to those two whine about how horrible their cooks were all day long.
All day. And they get
All day
trained in
long.
reserve.
They whined all day long about how horrible their cooks were. And usually that's what happens that's
Right.
when they throw up big scores. I mean, they were literally the worst cooks they've ever had in their life type scores.
Type stuff, yeah.
And then they win and get 2nd.
So you had
But so then we go to the rib cook-off. That was part of the awards. So
You had
we're
B
on the
to do.
and we're on the road, right? So we're on the road. So we're listening to this on the thing, and So rib A, I looked up, we got like 18th in rib A, and we got 19th in rib KCBS, same racks of ribs. Yeah.
What did you do to your cook B on your ribs? Did you hold them and put them back on the can,
Oh
or
yeah, yeah.
what?
No, I
What?
just
What?
it was
What
so,
did you
so
do?
they were sitting in the Cambro. My rack my ribs. They said so after when I got ready to turn in pork, I took them out of the camera. I'm like, I better put some fire on those. So I just threw
Right
them out on the pellet grill in the foil, just
in the
wrapped them
foil.
tight. They were already cut,
Oh,
right? So well, I'd cut them
well, yeah, you'd cut
earlier,
them.
right? They were just miscellaneous bones.
Right, right.
And so they were wrapped tight and full. I just threw them back out there and just kind of forgot about them. And so I went through pork, turn in, I went through brisket, turn in, and I went, oh shit, those are still out on the cooker.
Oh boy.
Those are probably a little tender. So anyway, we turned in brisket, and Sherry's like, hey, we got to turn in those other ribs. I'm like, oh, okay, you go turn in brisket. I'll get these other ribs ready. So I go out and about burned my hands getting these ribs out of the cooker, and
Oh, I
boy,
bet you they were hot.
Oh, they're steaming. They are tender.
Steamers.
They are tender. And I take them out gingerly, one by one, and I take
Right.
two bones out of every rack, and I sauce them up and put a little finish dust on them and throw them in the box. And when she gets back, she goes off on the box, and that's your first place ribs right there, qualified for the world championship.
There you go.
There you go.
Now, I'm not sure if that's how you're supposed to do it.
But that's what
I'm
did
not
it.
sure that's how you do it again, but that's how we did it the first time.
You know, the one thing I kind of like about this, and I could see it from an organizer standpoint, is they just pull judges off the street. It's not a certified going through all the day school and all that stuff. It's just whoever
Just
wants
normal
to.
people.
And that I would think for an organizer, that would be if you had a sponsor, you could say, okay, all the sponsors get 4 people that can judge ribs. You
Right.
know, that would be
Yeah.
a good idea doing that way, I think.
Yeah.
So you're cooking ribs for the average Joe Schmo, not the KCBS certified judge that I've done 25 contests and I know every fucking thing on the books.
I think that's true.
In a condensed version, I think that's true.
I think that's true. And I think the average Joe probably likes that rib a little more tender than we're.
Sure.
I'm not so sure KCBS doesn't want it a little more tender too.
Than what they used to be.
The more I cook, I've just and that's why I'm cooking a lot, just trying to get a feel for, this is just test runs for me,
Right.
and the more I cook and the more I try other people's food, even though I hate barbecue, I try it and spit it and whatever. And the more I try it,
Sure.
my food has a lot of texture to it and nobody else's does.
It's just kind of mushy
Everybody else is kind of mushy
in everything.
in everything across the board.
I'll be damned.
Everything else is, you don't need no teeth to eat. And I've never been that way. I've never been a mushy cook. I've always been
Right.
I've always been a texture cook, and
Little tug to it and stuff.
So I'm gonna
Little
probably try
tug
that
to
this
it.
weekend. I'm gonna push things to the limit this weekend. We're going down to Boise, Idaho, and I think I'm gonna push things to the limit. I'm gonna
really cook them.
cook
To just
the mother loving piss out of shit.
Yeah. Now, if you're going out to Boise, are you going to cook on one can, or what are you cooking on?
Yeah, I'm going to cook on one can, but the way I'm cooking my ribs and stuff now that I'm actually cooking ribs on a can, I've actually secured a pellet cooker too. So because that's kind of my way that I'm cooking ribs and then wrapping them and putting on a pellet
Put 'em-
cooker.
Sure.
And then cooking my chicken on the can. In order to do that, I wanted another heat source out there. So
Sure. Well, that's good that you're able to snag one of those. So
yeah, I got the
that whole. Now, did you hear anything or see anything about the wing contest part of it? Of the
No,
oh, okay.
no,
Did they cook wings there at the contest?
no.
Oh, it was just the two ribs
It was
for
just the
the.
two rib. It wasn't a traditional. It was just, and I think they'll let you do whatever you want to do as far as this cook-off thing. But
Oh,
if
dang.
you went to just a traditional standalone one, I think it would be a baby back. And I know Tim Shop up there in Wisconsin, he's done a dry rib, a wet rib contest kind of thing. He put some different variations on it to make it interesting,
I'll be dang.
but I think when we go to from what I can understand, and I'll need to do some research,
Sure.
fresh off this national championship
Yeah, that's
berth,
right.
I'm sure I'll figure it out.
Very interesting. I didn't realize that whole rib situation was quite as what it is. That's
Yeah, Randy, I think there's one coming up in your neck of the woods. I think maybe even next weekend.
really
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Smoking Ghost is putting one. I think he's putting one up by Peoria.
in Peoria.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, I think he's putting on a double header in one day.
Really? So you'd cook four entries.
Well, I don't know.
I'm going to have to get on their website and take a look at the Rib Cook-Off Association.
There's a bunch of them.
I'll be damned.
I'll be damn.
There's a bunch of them. Yeah, I was trying to find. But yeah, it's pretty much looks like it's just going to be just like a. It's almost think steak cook off but ribs.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of ribs,
Oh,
I cooked a little different rib this past week.
No, that's a
We had-
KCBS. That's a KCBS rib contest. Sorry, that's not a over in Peoria. That's a KCBS one. A double.
So KCBS has rib contest?
Yeah, they do single meat ribs too. A lot of times, on
Okay.
a Friday night they do where you can cook a single meat rib and
Okay.
single meat chicken. Well, this
Okay.
one just happens to be a single meat double rib.
Okay.
Randy, what were you gonna say?
Well, I cooked, had some experience with some ribs this past week.
Yeah.
We did a Chamber of Commerce after hours event for a landscaping company.
Okay.
And for what those are is where the company that hosts it, they have free food, free booze, and then they send out invitations. The Chamber of Commerce sends out invitations to all of its members, and it's gives you an opportunity to showcase your business of what you're doing and what you got going on, and it's a good opportunity for us to showcase our food on a case that we're getting paid for it too. So, but we did party ribs,
Yeah.
and those went over really good.
Really.
What's
I
a
mean-
party? What's a party rib?
We took and did baby backs and sliced them into individual bones, seasoned them, put them in the pit, cooked them to 160. At 160, we pulled them off, then put brown sugar and butter and barbecue sauce over them, tightened up the foil on them, and put them back in the pit and ran them up to about 200 or 205.
Did you
till
put
they
them
were
in a
done.
pan when you did
Yeah.
that? Or yeah.
Yeah, we put them in a pan. Just kind of like a KCBS, you would do a rib, where
Yep,
you put it in the
yep.
pan and wrap it in foil and stuff. But we were just, put several of them in there and then cooked them finished them off in the pit. We did get a little behind and we had to put them in the oven, which I didn't like. I think it got them a little overdone. But again, you want them overdone. The average people and the people went crazy over them, just completely nuts.
I wonder if that would work for the rib cook-off.
Of doing it in a pan.
Doing
Oh.
it individually.
do them individually.
Might.
There'll be a lot of flavor in one bone.
Giving him
Well, I'll
ideas,
let
Randall.
you know a little secret. These things, the guys that work for me, they're like, these are fantastic. And we had some left over, and they took some home, and their folks at home, they thought they were really good too. And I, now that you mention it, they do have some flavor in them. I mean,
Well, think about it. You're sealing in each one of those when you cook it. You're sealing in each one of those ribs.
uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the brown sugar, butter, and barbecue sauce.
Hmm.
And
There
then
you
we
go.
also did BLTs,
Yeah.
sliders that you talked about.
Yeah.
And those went over real well. And then the moink balls, everybody liked those also.
Get those
Moink
figured
balls.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, got those figured out and got them rolled up and wrapped in bacon and got them get them in the pit. So,
out. Nice.
but the whole thing, the whole chain after hours thing went off very well,
Well, good.
very well.
How long do
Good.
those party ribs take?
Well, they took, I don't know. I don't remember. It didn't take long for them to get to 160.
Right.
But the 160, we ended up putting them in the oven at 350. And that took probably about an hour and a half, I think. Because they weren't, at a little past an hour, they weren't gaining much temperature. And I started getting nervous because we needed to get on the road, in a responsible
Randy?
time.
You got nervous?
Yeah.
What?
No, the guys thought I did very well, that I wasn't real nervous, but they haven't seen me in a real nervous state, where I'm yelling at something. And what the fuck do you think we're doing? We got to get on the road.
I've seen Randy in a nervous state.
I believe that.
Yeah. So, but it was a success.
Good.
Plus, we did 4 different seed corn plot tours this past week also.
Ooh.
So those turned out real well.
I noticed coming home from Wisconsin last night when it was still light a little bit. Seems like the corn's just starting to turn on the bottom.
Well, now I've noticed here the last few days when I've been out and about, the corn's really starting to turn. It seemed like in the last 2 days it's really fired. And I mean, we've had wind, breeze, and sunshine, so that's really going to get her to turn. So it's really starting to turn. Word was last week there's a big farmer down here farms thousands and thousands and thousands of acres, hundreds of thousands of acres. They're probably one of the biggest farmers around, and they were already shelling corn.
He probably has to. He's probably got to shell 30% corn.
Well, that's what I
just
asked
to get
as
it
a
done.
seed. Yeah, that's what I asked as seed corn rep. I said, "What was it, 32?" And she goes, "We heard it was up in the 30s, but the same as you said, they've got so much. They're running it all to their main. They've got a grain drying facility that would put most elevators to shame, and they were running it to their grain drying facility and drying it down there."
Which Emma's like, what? What are you talking about?
I kind of get what he's talking about.
Hey, Randy.
But yeah,
Can you explain grain drying to her for a second? Just for
Right.
like a minute.
Darren has to go to the bathroom.
oh, okay.
You don't have to, Randy. We can talk
Well, I
about
will.
something else.
Agricultural today.
Okay.
It's just a process of running it through a bunch of grates and stuff to get the temperature down.
Oh. Boom.
Because
Easy
that's how
peasy.
you got to have corn at a certain temperature to sell it or to get your prime price, and this will help you get it down to that prime price.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
So what have you been up to?
This week?
Yeah.
Fucking around. I don't know. Nothing really.
What's
I
the
went to
latest
this-
What's the
What?
latest on the AI? I'm always interested in your input on AI.
I don't know. I wouldn't say there's really much of a change in it. I've gotten a lot of people to start using it at work.
Okay.
I'm
In
one
what
of
way do
the.
they use it?
We use it for oh, graphic ideas and things of that nature. Like tips on or some help on like content writing.
Right.
Um, and then I have a friend who was helping her mom who works at a school district with something, and she made their logo. She took their logo and kind of made it into a mascot. So like he was doing different activities for these
Uh-huh.
printouts. So I taught her how to do that. She was pretty impressed. But
Unlike the Cracker Barrel logo and
oh
that big
my
change.
god, they took all the characteristic or the character out of it.
I agree. I agree. When I first heard about it, I was like, what's people bitching about? It can't be that bad. And then when you
Mm-hmm.
see them side by side, it's like the whole down home country, home style
Yeah, they took
food
all the
that,
character out of it.
yeah, I agree with you.
That was stupid. But
Did you hear our talk about the Cracker
Cracker
Barrel
Barrel.
logo change?
Well, you know, that's on my notes right here.
Oh wow,
Okay.
why is it on your
Oh, oh.
notes?
Well,
Let's get into that.
so it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So the question I ask was because Cracker Barrel we all know is going through this Budweiser dilemma right now.
No, explain that.
Yeah. Wait. What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Well, Cracker Barrel, the world's on
Oh.
fire. Their stock price is going through the shitter because the world is saying Cracker Barrel is woke,
Oh,
and
really?
ever and people. You haven't seen this, Randy.
No, I haven't seen anything on it.
You haven't seen anything on this.
No, if it's not on Fox, I don't know about it.
Ain't that the truth?
So in the last week, Cracker Barrel, Cracker Barrel, it started out as a logo change.
Right.
Well, no,
Yeah.
it
Well,
started out as
It started out as them.
it started out as a rebranding of their stores.
Yeah, they
Right?
oh,
started.
really?
Yeah, they stopped taking like. So you know how when you'd go into a Cracker Barrel and you'd walk in and like when you're sitting down, it was just a cluster F of like artwork
Just,
on the walls and
just
like
fucking
Yeah.
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
and antiques and stuff. Well, they started
Right.
taking things down left and right. So their walls are almost bare.
What was their thought pattern on that, I wonder?
Well, that's what everybody's trying to figure out. Whether they were
Mm-hmm.
trying to take the South out of it, because that's kind of the South. If you walk into a restaurant in the South, you kind of see the same thing. And they took
Right.
out, they took out the wood burning and put it in a gas fireplace versus the
Really?
wood burning logs. And they just made some huge changes. And then they came and made a change to the logo, which
Right.
then
Now
took
that's what I'm
the
aware
old
of.
cut, right? And so, they started rebranding the stores, and then they made the change to the logo, and so it's like, things change over time, right?
Sure.
But then I'm like, okay, was this really them trying to do this? Or did the media get a hold of it and all of a sudden it just become this huge woke initiative that somebody put the woke stamp on it and everybody else jumped on it?
Right.
And so then their stock price just dove,
That's what I heard.
right? And so, but then they publish stuff. You just don't know what to believe anymore because with AI, anything can be created. You can create any picture. You don't know if it's true or not,
No, exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So here they are doing the same exact thing And you're like, how could you watch Budweiser go through it and then watch Target and watch all these people go through it and suffer long-term consequences,
Right.
knowing that the public wasn't going to accept this?
Well, so why change?
And then you do this? So really, were they trying to do this? Or were they just trying to really change their logo and modernize their store
Right.
and end up getting stamped as a woke corporation
Okay.
by the media or whatever? So that's the question I have in my mind, because nobody in their right mind would do that on purpose, I don't think. I mean,
I don't.
how stupid could that be? I just,
Stupid.
it makes no sense. But it's just,
Right.
you know, and maybe their business is down and they're, you know, trying to attract a different demographic,
Right.
when
Right.
we all know Cracker Barrel, you know, I mean, in the long term, Cracker Barrel's all about older people and larger groups of people and feeding them cheap and, you know, just
Right.
that type food. But now
Down home food.
they're making menu changes and stuff like that, that it's like, no, that's not you. You know,
Not you.
that's not you. That's why I don't have salmon on my menu. That's why I don't have vegan options. That's why I don't have, you know, because that's not me.
Right. Right.
I'm not trying to attract that demographic. Right.
Right.
I, you know, like Sherry and we went this morning, our new Sunday thing. I used to go to breakfast by myself every Sunday. And now I take my
Aw.
bride with me.
Oh, that's nice.
Aw, that's so
Oh.
sweet.
And now we go we try and go to a different place every Sunday.
Sure.
And now we went to Eggs and Jam this morning. Have you
Okay.
ever been, Emma? You ever been?
No. I don't go out for breakfast very often, actually.
Oh. So Eggs and Jam, I was very impressed. I really liked it. It's out in West Des Moines on AP True.
Mm-hmm.
I had, and it's kind of a very hip place.
Right.
It was, I mean, it's got like graffiti type walls and the music's playing and whatever. It's very hipster,
Modern.
even though I didn't feel like I was out of place. And the menu was it was good. I mean, I had some breakfast tacos, 3 little corn tortilla tacos with scrambled eggs, pastrami. It was supposed to have cheese. I didn't have that, with avocado on it, with a sriracha aioli on it that was just like, and some jalapenos on it. And it was
Jalapeno.
super, super good.
Was it pretty good?
Yeah. Sherry had this Philly cheesesteak omelet that had so much cheese. I had a sauce. I wanted a side of sausage. I always want to try people's sausage. Their sausage came out and it was like an extruded sausage link with no casing on it. And it was probably like 6 inches long.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really good. It made me think about, I want to do this. You know, it looked like one of those skinless brats.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Overall, really good. I mean, the service was decent. I mean, our food came out super quick. The service really quick, and then it took forever to kind of get our plates taken away in our bill. But coffee was good. Everything was good. I mean, my pastrami, there wasn't half an ounce of pastrami in the whole meal, but
Right.
it was still good. I'd go back. You know, but it was, and they had vegan options, but I would expect vegan options there.
In that type.
West
Yeah.
Des Moines, they were a hipster place.
Yes.
Sure.
They had a very good vibe, you know.
We love a good vibe.
Yeah, they had a very good vibe. But their menu they had a lot of cool stuff. You know, I told Sherry, I said, I got this sausage link, and I'm saying, she goes, what are you thinking? I said, I'm going to extrude the sausage. I'm going to make our own sausage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stuff our sausage through, not with no casing. I'm going to extrude that sausage. I'm going to put it in a hoagie bun with scrambled eggs and queso and toppings and make a breakfast hoagie and run it through the oven and toast it off.
That would be something.
And she's like, people don't want that much bread. I'm like, come on, Sherry.
Come on, Sherry.
Just go with me.
Put it in a tortilla.
That's what she said. I'm like, we already have breakfast tacos.
We'll make this something special.
I want something different.
Yeah.
Darren doesn't know what the word special means, Randy.
Oh, you ought to see our breakfast burger special. We're running
What's
a
that?
breakfast. We're running a breakfast burger right now. I told Brian in the kitchen, he's a pretty creative guy, and I said, hey, if you want to run a special once in a while, just tell me what we'll do. We'll take some pictures of it and just, kind of just let him be, because he used to work for the old owners, and he used to be in charge of creating a new special every day. Well, we don't do specials every day. And I said, if you want to just run a special that will run for a week or 2 weeks or a month or whatever, and you want to come up with something, just let me know. And, and so he decided he wanted to do some burger specials. And I said, I'm fine with that. So he came up with this. The first one was a breakfast burger special, which was just a 5-ounce burger with grilled onions and bacon and an over easy egg on it and cheese and served with a side of hash browns. And I'm like, okay, pretty standard burger, but I tell you what, we made some laminated cards that we put at the table when we deliver the menu. We're delivering the breakfast burger. We don't leave it on the table. We deliver it when we deliver the menu.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We sold like 24 of those sons of the bitches yesterday.
Is that right?
Yeah. Really a nice way to market that will...
Picture of it and everything on there.
Yeah, it's got a picture. Haley did up a nice picture of it and the description and everything, but
sure,
really nice little deal.
So it really bumped the sales.
Yeah, taught us a lot about how do we market that and how do we instead
market
of
a new product or something like that.
Instead of putting it on Facebook and hanging a sign by the door and whatever.
Right.
No, they come into order. Boom, here's something right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to pick it up and look at it.
No, yeah, especially when they're waiting for their food.
Well, when we hand them their menu.
Well,
order,
yeah.
It's right in front of them.
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. But sometimes, we tried to do this. I don't know if I can't even remember if we ever got to it, but we tried to do it at the restaurant where we put stuff in the napkin holders.
Yeah,
so
sometimes they get that, sometimes they don't.
But this I like. It's laminated and it's kind of what you're saying, a card. People,
and we can
once they touch it, they got possession of it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That is
pretty
pretty
We'll
smart.
do our soup specials that way and do different things that way, but
sure.
A lot of people. I think that's a good idea. It's like this, it's like the inserts that people do in their menus.
Yep.
Yeah.
For drink specials and stuff.
Kind of the old local cafe. Remember how local cafes, they'd always have an insert in there of their daily special?
Yep.
Yeah.
On a piece of notebook paper, a piece of steno pad or something. They'd just have it written in there.
That's what I wanted. I wanted to clip it to the top. And they're like, don't clip it to the top. And I said, okay, I won't clip it to the top. But
I kind of like your laminated deal.
So anyway, back to the Cracker Barrel thing. I have no clue. I have no clue if this is a woke CEO that didn't get the memo, and I was talking to some people about this weekend. They said, most CEOs are just so out of touch with the real world.
Right.
They're just in a boardroom. They're just so out of touch with their clientele and whatever. So I don't know. I was out on Twitter or X or whatever today, and people were sending pictures. And once again, you don't know, are they true or not? And they sent a picture of a Cracker Barrel on a Saturday night in like Athens, Georgia. And they said, here's a picture. And there was like 4 cars in the parking lot. And they said, normally this would be packed.
Sure.
Yeah.
But then again, maybe an AI generated photo. Don't know. You just don't know what to believe.
That's true.
Don't know what to believe. But if you think about people like, why would they change their logo? And I'm like, I think one of the most interesting marketing things I've ever seen ever. You're talking about interesting, but keeping your same brand is if you ever get a chance, go look up John Deere logos from
Right.
Oh,
start to present.
yeah, they're the
And
same.
if you look, the deer
Yeah.
has changed a
Stays
little
the same.
bit, but you recognize it's recognizable. But
Right.
it's changed over the years, but it's changed 20 times,
Yeah.
right? But you still know that it's John Deere,
Sure.
right? Wow.
And those people know how to do it.
Interesting stuff.
Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff.
Definitely go woke, grow broke. I know that's the atmosphere we're in.
Okay.
Right.
It does not, that shit doesn't fly today. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
You just don't hunt.
It just doesn't hunt.
It doesn't hunt.
It doesn't hunt. There's no room in the restaurant business for politics. There's no room in the restaurant business for any of that stuff.
No. There shouldn't be room for any of it in anything. But, that's unfortunately just not the world we live in. I think it used to be a lot happier when nobody knew anything about anybody's political opinions.
Thank
And you
you,
just minded your
social
own
media.
business.
Thank you, social media.
Hey,
Mhm.
it's
Facebook ruined the world.
freaking Mark Zuckerberg. I really can't say much though, because he did give that is my job, but yeah. To heck with that. That is the career choice I made, but whatever. Actually, I'm more.
So, do we have anything else?
No, that hour flew by.
Hour flew by. Now she needs to go back to sleep.
Nap
No.
time again.
Listen, I went to the science center today with my cousin and her 2-year-old, and I didn't think it was going to be as exhausting as it was. I mean, it was so much fun, but I got tired because I'm old, and that was a lot. I don't know how moms do it. They deserve a raise.
Oh.
What? What?
Well, let's see. I woke up at 4:00 yesterday morning. 3:30 actually. Got up, lit the barbecue pit, cooked a barbecue contest, drove back, got everything put away, went to bed at 11:00 last night, up again at 4:00 this morning. And I'm still fine. And I haven't even had a nap.
Okay, I also, was up early this morning. I was so excited about going to the science center that I did not sleep very well. It was like Christmas morning this morning. I love the science center. It's the best place on earth. Maybe not on earth, but it's sick.
It's a geek coming out in there.
Yeah. They have their Lego room is nuts. It's surreal.
Surreal. Or surreal.
Surreal.
With a U.
It's with a U. I said surreal.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I was making fun of you.
Oh.
All right.
But anyway, Randy's
Okay.
got to go. Oh my
No, I
gosh,
don't
what
have
just
to go.
happened? Oh, my computer just locked for a second. Sorry, guys. Weird.
It's okay.
Anyway. Well, if you haven't already, follow us on social media at Cue the Mic Pod. Find us on YouTube at Cue the Mic Podcast. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, do all the things. You know the drill. Randall, take it away.
Boom! Out of here. Done. Finished.
Man, that
I'm
was
gonna
like
go deaf.
That was a double clutch.
That was like a build-up.
Yeah, that was a double
That was
clutch.
like the
Boom.
dreaded podcast build-up.
Yeah.
Bam, we're out of here.
We'll
Adios.
see you guys next week. Maybe.